Hello and welcome to the December edition of the EPALE Newscast, and it's the last of this year. I'm Tamsin Rose, your host. It's official. The new College of European Commissioners began their work on the 1st of December after the European Parliament voted to approve them. Roxana Minzatu from Romania is the new Executive Vice President for People, Skills and Preparedness. And her role covers both training and education and the impact of technology and innovation. And here is what is on her very ambitious to-do list. She needs to develop and build up a union of skills with a strategy that covers investment, it covers adult and lifelong learning. Amongst her other things she's going to do is also including vocational education, training, skill retention and recognition, and enhancing skills intelligence. So there's a lot there that's going to be really interesting and useful for this audience. The European education area needs to be developed to drive a common approach to skills development, learning mobility, quality, and inclusiveness. So again, she's got a lot of tasks to take on with these civil servants she's working with. There's going to be a skills portability initiative to ensure skills and qualifications acquired in one country are recognised in another. So that will help with the mobility. She will also contribute to efforts on legal migration to help attract people with the right skills to match the EU labour market needs, starting with something called the talent pool. She's also got on her list of things to do a European strategy for vocational education and training, including boosting the number of people with a secondary vet degree, including apprenticeships. She'll also develop an action plan on basic skills and a STEM education strategic plan. There's also going to be a review of the Digital Education Action Plan and the adoption of a roadmap on the future of digital education and training. She's also tasked with building up the Pact for Skills for more workers in key industrial ecosystems. Now, I think you'd agree with me, that's a lot of things on her agenda to do over the next 5 years, and it's very ambitious. You can find out more about these things and many other things that are on her list of things to do in the mission letter from the European Commission President von der Leyen, and we're putting the link so you can look at it. Now let's look at EPALE itself. The 2025 call for proposals has been launched. So now is a good time to re-explore the EPALE MOOC on Erasmus Plus funding opportunities for adult education providers. This refreshed course provides an introduction to the Erasmus Plus program from 2021 to 2027. It will give you the knowledge and tools to successfully navigate the funding applications. And now, of course, there's an open call, so this is the right time to do it. Now, we are in the middle of a cost of living crisis, and we can all experience that. And last year, a fifth of Europeans were at risk of poverty and social exclusion. And that risk is higher for people with lower educational attainment. So this next online discussion will probably be of interest to you. Mark your calendars for the 18th of December at 10 a.m. Central European Time, because there's going to be a conversation on education and policy synergies, breaking the cycle of poverty. It's moderated by the European Association for Education of Adults, and it will feature Elizabeth de Veerschouwer from Go Brussels and Mathis Porches, an economic and policy analyst at the European Commission's DG Employment, Social Affairs and Inclusion. Now, I want to tell you about something really special. Imagine an antique naturalist's journal full of magical stories, each described and beautifully illustrated, so that you feel like you're along for the ride, discovering each new marvel. Well, you don't just have to imagine it. You can download the 2024 EPALE Community Storybook. It features over 80 remarkable stories from adult educators across Europe. And each story has been carefully preserved like a specimen in that antique journal. And this year's storybook is entitled Seeds of Change, Stories of Growth, Connection and Change in the Adult Education. Speaking of which, let's invite a participant whose story can be discovered in that very same storybook. So welcome to Foteni Sokratos from Cyprus. Hi, Foteni.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, and you're based at an organization called CADE. Tell us what it does.
So CARDET is the leading independent research and education center in Cyprus and dedicated to harnessing the potential of education as a major driver in shaping a better world. And our target group, the people that they're working with, is teachers or sometimes students or in general adult learners.
Thank you. Now, you're just coming to the end of a project called Green League, and it's got a specific website. And I enjoyed looking at that website, and we're going to share it with people. But can you tell us a little bit what you've been doing in this project?
Mm-hmm. So Green League aim is to strengthen the link between sport and environment through the development of the Green League model or through the implementation of outdoor physical activities, which is a combination of sports in nature and at the same time how to learn about how sports are affecting the environment and the climate change in general. So we did some great events in Cyprus and with sports and nature in a way to, help people to learn about sports and at the same time to learn about how sports that can affect the environment.
Great. And there's each of the partners in your project have put out a couple of little short videos on YouTube. And the ones I looked at for your activities in Cyprus, you had an activity doing beach volleyball. And as part of doing the beach volleyball, they also had to clean up litter from the beach and also learn about why it was so important to have clean water. And there was another activity that was doing sort of yoga in a forest and a treasure hunt. Tell me about them because they looked really exciting.
So yes, we did the beach volley and we tried to include in the implementation migrants. And so there were kids, migrants, and they came in Larnaca and they play beach volley all together. And at the same time, they cleaned the beach. And it was really nice to, take them out of their of the place that they stayed to play, but also it was something new for the locals to see them clean up the beach. And also they learn about the how sports, they can affect the environment. And about the treasure hunt in Nicosia, it was the only way to make sure that people, they will learn some interesting facts about how sports have an impact in the environment. Like, for example, with the Olympics and FIFA or any football match and how the carbon dioxide is produced through those matches, or with golf and the production of, the golf fields.
Yeah, I mean, what was interesting, I think, about your project was it just to understand how big the carbon footprint of some sporting activities are, because that was a real surprise. And I think it was great to help people think about how their own behavior in those sporting events could change. I mean, I'm taking my kids to a football match in a couple of days, and I hadn't even thought about talking to them as we went along about, thinking about keep an eye out for litter and watch what's happening. We just thought of it as an opportunity to go out and play football. So it's great that what you were doing was helping people to sort of reframe how sports could be either a contributor to litter and waste, or if it's done right and with care, could be, like you said, on the beach, cleaning up the environment. And how nice that it changed the relationship between the way locals saw these young migrants, because suddenly they were contributing, they were part of helping to make the quality of life better. So did you get a sense that everyone felt that it'd been a success, their activities?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think yes. And also we have developed the Green League model, which is something that everyone can go and find out, and they can see how they can, even not just in sports events, but let's say a concert, how our big events can be more environmental friendly. Or let's say I'm an association or a sports organization and I want to do an event. I can find out how I can do it and support my local community as well at the same time.
That's great. Thanks so much, Forteni, for joining us today. And of course, people can find out more about your project, the Green Leagues, and by looking at the storybook, downloading it, because you are amongst its pages, along with lots of other inspirations. So don't forget, everyone, to please download it. It's been absolutely beautifully created. It's well worth looking at. And I think you'll all enjoy it. And it's always such a pleasure on EPALE to hear how different organizations have been working all across Europe. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'd like everyone to get ready for the upcoming EPALE Resource Kit, which is gathering the best of materials that have been produced during the year. Thank you all for participating so actively in the online EPALE community, in the different webinars, seminars, conferences and activities, and of course the community conference. This is now the end of our activities for the year, so it remains to me to say have a happy holiday season, and let's hope that next year is full of kindness and peace for all of us. See you next year with the first EPALE newscast that will be coming up after the beginning of the year. Thank you and goodbye.